morning, dear hearts. And there's an amazing thunderstorm going on, so that'll probably be the noise you hear. So, good morning. We are in our second thought of our fifth section, our fifth relevant central special thought, part 2 of the workbook. What is the body? Certainly a topic that we're all familiar with. And I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs of What is the Body and then do today's lesson. I skipped around with it yesterday, so go back into a little bit more of a structure today. But the body is a fence that the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of his self, his true self, from other parts. And yesterday I said it's also a defense. It's a defense against the truth, this body is. It's also a grief fence that you have heard me use that term before, because that fence that I put around me keeps all of the grief and all of the unhappiness that comes from the body, the ego mind. And I am keeping love out, as this paragraph will tell us. So it's a fence that the Son of God imagines he is built to separate parts of his true self from other parts, everything else that is. It is within this fence that he thinks he lives to die as it decays and crumbles, because this is not a permanent structure. As I said yesterday, in fact, it's not even a permitted structure. It won't pass inspection. For within this fence, he thinks he is safe from love, because I've surrounded myself with grief, so it keeps love away. I will not find fear and love together, ever. Identifying with his safety within this fence, he regards himself as what his safety is. This fence, this separation between myself and everything else, everyone else. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? The body will not stay, yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof that his fences work and his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. How is the best way? What is the best way for the ego to prove that we are not the Son of God? We are not the child of God. We are separate from our source. What is the best way for that to happen? For this body self to die. Because if the Son of God is eternal, but the body is not, and if I see this body as being myself, then the fact that I perish is proof that I indeed am not the child of God. I am not an extension from his whole and pure and perfect mind. And do the task his mind assigns to them, that his fences work as do the tasks that his mind assigns to him. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who is the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? And that's exactly what the ego wants. Proof. We are not the child of God. But today's lesson, and I just want to highlight in the second paragraph, line 4, for his oneness still remains untouched. Who could attack? The oneness. Today's lesson, let me perceive no differences today. And to perceive is to not know. Remember, to perceive is not know. So let me not know any differences between myself and the rest of the sonship today. Let me not see bodies today, because bodies as I see them, they're all different, and they are proof that we are not one. I look at them, I don't see myself in my brother or my sister. I don't see that reflection that indeed I am meant to see, because we are mirror to each other. Father, you have one son, one child, and it is he that I would look upon today. He is your one creation. Why should I perceive 1,000 forms in what remains as one? Why should I look around and see so many different forms and so many different bodies when in truth there is only one? Why should I give this one 1,000 names when only one suffices? God's holy child, God's only son, one name. Remember the lesson, I call upon God's name and on my own. We are one. There is one name for both the Father and the Son. For your Son must bear your name, for you created him. Let me not, it's part of my inheritance, it's part of my heritage. Let me not see him as stranger to his Father, nor as stranger to myself. For he is part of me and I of him, and we are part of you, who are our source, eternally united in your love, eternally the Holy Son of God. We are that one. We are part of our Father. I am as God created me. There is that lesson, of course, again. The second part of today's lesson is now the text portion. We who are one would recognize this day the truth about ourselves. We would come home and rest in unity, rest in peace, which has nothing to do with leaving the body behind. Although we will, because in unity we realize that, again, we're not bodies, we are spirit. And in spirit wants to unite. Spirit knows its oneness. Bodies do not. So I will come home and rest in the unity of the oneness of me, all of us being spirit, our true self. For there is peace, and nowhere else can peace be sought and found. I want the peace of God, and the peace of God is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose, my function, my life while I abide where I am not at home. I want God's peace, and I find it only when I return home. There is one thought. Remember, we've spoken of this before. There is one thought. There is one Son. There is one purpose for all of us. Remember that the purpose of this world is to heal God's child. That's the only reason we're here. And if I am looking at my brothers and I'm seeing differences, I'm seeing levels, then I have separated myself from the unity that we truly are. There is one life, one love, one brother, one truth, one love. There is only that one. So today I want to come back to the unity that heals all the separateness in my mind, so that I can truly know my one true self. So let me perceive no differences today, no thing that separates one from the other. Let me see the wholeness and the oneness that we truly always are. And I mentioned the oneness in the second paragraph. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? There would be no desire, no thought of attack when we understand and recognize, remember our oneness. So that's it for today. I hope that helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. We will continue tomorrow with more of what is the body and another wonderful lesson. So like, share, subscribe, smile, breathe, and please be here tomorrow. Namaste.